Hi, I'm Chris, KI6CR, and welcome to my shack. I post a lot to my social media to my non-ham friends about amateur radio, summits on the air, satellites, and all sorts of stuff that I'm into. I wanted to make this video to bring some of that over to YouTube so that you might be able to learn a little bit about some of my experiences. Today's video in particular is about the 2026 Summits on the Air Challenge to work 2-meter and 70-centimeter weak signal modes. So we decided to drag some gear up to a mountaintop and work a satellite as a part of the 2026 challenge. So this video came out a little longer than I planned, but I'll share a little recap at the end and we can talk more about what we learned in case you want to get some long-range contacts for your 2026 challenge. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about on this channel, and I'm excited to share with you some things like an advanced SOTA planning tool for your ham or activator group. I'm also developing some cool tools for WordPress for SOTA activators to make uploading about your experience and your activation easier with maps, GPS tracks, and logs and the whole bit. And then also my special project that I'm working on and very close to releasing is a kit, a very highly specialized key for the Elecraft KH1 radio, something that's new to my life but really needed a CW key that I wanted to fall in love with. So I decided to design and build one for myself. If you want to learn more about these things, I can't believe I'm about to say this, like and subscribe so that you can stay tuned and learn more about those things. I'll come back with a recap when we're done. All right, we're back on the trail today. It's a beautiful day in Los Angeles. It's a little toasty, not gonna lie. But today we're gonna combine two things: summits on the air and my affection for operating amateur radio satellites. So we're up at this place in Glendale, California called the Sierra Negro Benchmark. I'm not gonna call it much of a hike because it's relatively short. I don't know what's called a drive up, but it should be interesting. We're gonna try to work this satellite that's gonna pass over at 17,000 miles per hour in orbit. And I don't know how well it's gonna work. It could be really noisy today. We got this big noisemaker next to me here. So we're gonna give it a try for science. But if we can't get the satellite to work, we'll still do an activation. My buddy AJ is here, W6CMY, to support. And let's play a little amateur radio, play a little satellites. Thanks AJ for running video today. We've got our dual band beam antenna set up on the tripod. The custom adapter that I modeled and 3D printed to get this antenna to work, because when you work a satellite, its polarization changes. You have to be able to turn it. My backpack is acting as a sandbag. The ICOM 9700 is a full duplex radio. We're gonna use one band to transmit to the satellite and the other to receive. There's a little box up here. The CSN sat box is going to adjust for Doppler for the satellite as it comes to us. The frequency we'll hear it will actually be higher than its transmit frequency, just like the siren on an ambulance that drives by. You hear it pitch up and then it pitches down with your ears, while our radio will hear the same as the satellite passes over our head. Its frequency will then decrease and we'll adjust for that. This little sat box covers that heavy lifting on the radio. We got the Morse code key here, which helps us find ourselves on the radio. We can talk, or on the satellite. We can talk more about that in a minute. And then some battery power here just to keep everything juiced up. We've got a little time to kill before the satellite comes over, so let's work some Morse code. All right, so the sat box has grabbed hold of the radio and is going to control the Doppler effect for both the uplink and download frequency. The satellite will be here in about 4 minutes, almost 5 minutes. And right now it's traveling at 3.7 miles per second, speeding towards us. That's pretty cool, right? So I'll be able to see azimuth and elevation here on the sat box. I won't need to use the phone. I just needed to tell the sat box, hey, this is the bird we want to track. Please run the show. So I should be able to operate off of this screen, which I can see easily here, even in the direct sun. The phone is tough in the sun. At least I have a little shade here. But I don't think we're really going to need it. The first order of business when we try to work a linear satellite is finding ourselves. So what the heck does that mean? We're going to come in on one band, we're going to come out on another band, and because those frequencies aren't the same, we've got to figure out where we're coming in and where we're going to come back out in this allocation of frequency that the satellite operates on. So we're going to flip the radio into Morse code mode first and hold down the key, and we're going to turn a knob called RIT, which adjusts your listen position frequency without turning the knob on transmit. And so we need to find ourselves, and then we'll switch it back to voice mode and start calling CQ. That's the plan. All right, the satellite should be coming over the horizon, so we're gonna start to transmit and see if we can hear ourselves.
I can faintly hear it. Maybe not.
There it is. All right, let's flip over to sideband mode. Come on. All right, I guess we gotta do it on here. CQ, summits on the air. CQ, summits on the air. Kilo, India, 6 Charlie, Romeo. Doot, doot. CQ, summits on the air. Kilo, India, 6 Charlie, Romeo. CQ satellite, Kilo, India, 6 Charlie, Romeo. All right, well, we hear ourselves. This is a good sign. CQ, Kilo. Holy smokes, what was that? Juliet station, come again. ACJ station, come again. I hear him. Norway 6 Lima, Norway from Kilo, India, 6 Charlie, Romeo. That very good for Delta Mike 02. Can you give me the 6-digit grid square? What's your suffix there? Thank you. We're Delta Mike 04 Tango Echo, Tango Echo. A Delta Mike, Roger, Roger. All right, 7-3. All right, we got one. That's cool. All right, let's slide off and keep calling. Kilo 6 Alpha Charlie Juliet, Kilo India 6 Charlie Romeo. Yeah, very good. Can you give me your 6-digit grid square? What's your suffix? W6 BVB from Kilo India 6 Charlie Romeo, Delta Mike 04. Kilo India 6 Charlie Romeo, Delta Mike 04. See how I turned the antenna, how it makes such a big difference? CQ summits on the air, CQ summits on the air, Kilo India 6 Charlie Romeo. Oh, I didn't spot myself. Oops. Kilo India 6 Charlie Romeo, Delta Mike 04. Whiskey 6 Zulu Mike from Kilo India 6 Charlie Romeo. All right, I'm unable to hear myself any further, so I don't want to potentially congest the satellite with my signal, but not being able to hear the satellite well back. So that's one of the benefits of having a full duplex radio, is we only listen to the downlink. And if you can't hear yourself, then don't transmit, because you could be just squawking over somebody else's QSO and you're unable to hear it. So given the mountains here of the Angeles National Forest, and that the satellite's now about 9 or 10 degrees above the horizon, I have no real bearing of where the actual horizon is. I have to assume it's on the other side of these mountains, and the mountains act as a huge dirt filter for the signals from the satellite. So I would say we didn't make a ton of wildly long distance contacts today, but this was a great exercise. I've got N6LN, K6ACJ, W6 Bravo Victor Bravo, and Whiskey 6 Zulu Mike. So as you can see, we were successful working the RS-44 satellite from our summit activation point. This was a great test to see that with a hopefully minimal amount of gear, we could get up and have an actual working satellite rig to be able to work the 2026 challenge. I did not work across country. We heard some Illinois from California. I did not hear any DX during this activation, but that's okay. I wanted a nice high pass, knowing that we would have a good 20 minutes to play with the satellite. In a perfect world, I'll choose a lower to the horizon pass, which means that the satellite will be further away and maybe increase the likelihood of working an OM that might be a little further away than maybe just down the street. So a good test nonetheless. The gear can get heavy. If you've got a friend group or a nice activator group like I do, it's easy to share the load and maybe pass some gear off to some friends to carry up to your summit. So I think that's something we'll pay a lot of attention to for what is the payload weight-wise if you're gonna be hiking maybe a couple hundred or 1,000 feet to get to the summit that you wanna work. But this was a great test to see that you can do it. So stay tuned to the channel. We're gonna talk a lot more about the upcoming release of my KH1 CW Key kit that should be arriving in mailboxes hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I'm excited to talk more about that, as well as my SOTA Activation Planning Tool. This is a doorstep-to-doorstep planning tool that will calculate drive times, hike times, some assumed activation times, so that you know exactly when you might leave and exactly when you might end up back when the YL is asking you when you're coming home. I wouldn't know anything about that. So stay tuned. Look forward to sharing more updates with you. And again, like and subscribe if you want to learn more. But 7-3, and we'll catch you on the air next time.